Hi, everybody. Gianni Di Poce here with you for TheoTRADE, and today is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025. We're seeing a bit of sell-side action in the equity market today, but it's coming after the S&P 500 hit a new all-time high in the early morning. We've seen pretty much straight selling ever since. It was a pretty angry tape coming out of the opening bell. We did get a little bit of a bounce in the late morning, and now we are kind of hovering near the lows of the day. So time will tell if we make new lows. I really wouldn't be surprised if we saw markets kind of chop around into a bottom of some sort next week. Here, the NASDAQ is leading the sell off lower. We did start off the week with some big moves in semiconductors. You can see here the semiconductor index hitting a new all-time high, and it was driven to new all-time highs by the big gap up in advanced micro devices after OpenAI announced a big stake in the company. We were actually positioned long in advanced micro devices. In the Trinity trade, we had some call options, straight calls, came away with actually a 389% gain in 5 days. Do have some shares of this stock as well. So the shares didn't book profits, but we definitely stepped out yet at yesterday's open on those calls to lock in gains. But with the run up that we've seen in semiconductors, here looking at Nvidia, I wouldn't be opposed to some sideways action here, even for a handful of sessions. Like I said, into next week, Nvidia here is at the all-time highs, a couple days off of it. It's chopping around near the highs. It's bullish price action overall. This tech sector and semiconductors in general have powered this market higher. A little bit of rotation here wouldn't be that bad of a development when it comes to the sustainability of this bull trend. But you also look at healthcare, which had a really strong week last week, kind of just hanging out here near the highs. But pretty much all the gains that we've seen in healthcare this year have come in the last few trading days. But it's within healthcare that I'm most interested in biotech. Biotech is selling off a little bit here, but a lot of nice opportunities in that space. And I don't even think we've really touched on what artificial intelligence could do for the biotech sector, but that's kind of an emerging opportunity I'd be keeping my eyes on. We've already started to take some initial positions related to biotech in the Trinity trade and other portfolios. But another big headline this week has been the moves in quantum computing. We've been all bulled up on quantum computing since the start of this year. It's been a really nice trade. We actually booked two big profits in the quantum space in the $1 million challenge and in the Trinity trade over the last couple of days. This morning, we actually booked profits in IonQ when prices hit $82 per share, came away with a 74% gain on that. And then late last week, we booked the final profits in D-Wave Quantum when it hit 33, came in with an over 100% gain on that. QUBT, another one that we booked gains on Friday. So, there's a lot of froth creeping into the tape. Over the weekend, I noticed a lot of people angry about the price action in quantum computing. I don't think that the quantum story is over. Intermediate or long term. Near term, we could be dealing with a bit of a pullback, which I think would be pretty healthy, actually, just because these moves have been so large. But let's go ahead and shift gears and take a look at gold and silver, because gold continues to climb to new all-time highs. We're above the $4,000 mark now, and this is pretty significant. Pretty significant because this rally has actually been going on longer than I expected. That said, I have sold all of my precious metal mining stocks that I actively trade. Silver is pulling back some, but gold and silver mining stocks are just not having it today. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a corrective decline here. After we had the Japanese election results over the weekend, the dollar has been soaring against the Japanese yen. The dollar's even starting to come back against the euro. And so this could be representing a massive macroeconomic shift taking place in the market right now. And it could actually be beneficial for the US market if it starts to lead to some significant outperformance that has been largely absent in 2025, because international stocks have been doing a lot better than US stocks. But ever since April, with the great tech reset, it's been looking a lot better. So, near term, a little bit of froth, I wouldn't be surprised. But I also had my eyes on the fact that bonds are seeing a rally together with the dollar. This is where it gets interesting, because you've been hearing me talk about the bullish setup in bonds. We've been looking for lower rates this year. It's starting to play out. The Fed's going to cut rates again in about 3 weeks' time. But we did come into this week with a little bit of sell side action in bonds. We're recovering here. But again, the big observation, and to me, the sign that some sands are shifting at a macroeconomic level is the fact that the dollar is rallying with bonds today. Usually, I should say, you haven't been seeing that for quite some time. So, is global capital, as I like to call it, are they starting to buy bonds? Are they converting their foreign currency to dollars to buy bonds? That's certainly a possibility. Rates are coming down. Crude oil still looks very weak. We're looking for a big breakdown in crude oil. It's been dead money for quite some time. But there still are some big opportunities brewing in the cryptocurrency space. I know crypto's selling off rather hard today, but we did hit a new all-time high in Bitcoin. This is bullish price action. We are looking for a rally into the 138, 140 area at the least. You take a look at Ethereum, a bit stronger sell side action there, but between names that we've had since April in stocks like Hut 8 Mining, very strong names hit a new high there as well. Really strong trend and price action, not something that we necessarily want to fight. But I'm also keeping an eye on MicroStrategy getting whacked today. But if we are in the process of forming a higher low, we could have a pretty nice setup here for this stock to make a notable rebound. So I don't think we need to be rushing to any conclusions. Overall, there was a bit of a defensive rotation actually that started last week. Again, it was with healthcare being the best performing sector on the week. A little bit of turbulence here in the near term, but we've been booking gains left and right. Actually, have a little bit of cash on hand in the Trinity Trade portfolio that we'll be discussing how to deploy in the coming week or two. But all in all, guys, these types of pullbacks are important because they do so much to reset sentiment and rattle out and shake out the weak longs in this market. There is a lot of chasing. There's a lot of big money being made, mini fortunes, but what separates real traders from the fake traders is that the real traders keep their money during the downturns, not all of it, but most of it. Whereas the fake traders, the gamblers, they blow it all because they're not managing risk. And so that's the big difference with what we're doing. But all in all, we're looking for higher lows across the board in stocks and crypto. We're still in a risk on environment, just looking to see if the dollar is going to start a real climb back higher. So that's what we had for now. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See you in the TheoTRADE chat room.